It's a Sunday groove, the vibe is tight. Crafting dreams in the morning light. Threads and fabric, needles and glue, creating magic, just me and you. Sunday fun day, feel the beat. Hands are moving, can't take a seat. Quilt and sew it, make it glow. Sharing the skills, let the love flow. Linda's here with her crafty flair, spinning ideas, filling the air. Sean is dancing, tools in hand. Together we conquer the craft land. Sunday fun day, feel the beat. Hands are moving, can't take a seat. Quilt and sew it, make it glow. Sharing the skills, let the love flow. Laser beams cutting shapes so clean. Colors collide like a vivid dream. Tips and tricks pass round the crowd, creating together, hearts so proud. Sunday fun day, feel the beat. Hands are moving, can't take a seat. Quilt and sew it, make it glow. Sharing the skills, let the love flow. Linda's here with her crafty.
Because I'm on mute. I'm so sorry. Well, I'll start back over. Hey, everybody. I hope you're having a great Sunday. And I went through saying hey to everybody. Y'all know what? I missed it. So let's go back. So, hey, Miss Jennifer. Hey, Miss Linda. Hey, Miss Renee. Hey, Miss Beverly. Hey, Lady Bear. Hey, Miss Merlinda. Miss Connie. Miss DB. Welcome in, Miss Roslyn. Miss Mary Brown, Miss Chrissy. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, great, 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 great. All right, so I'm so sorry you guys couldn't hear me. Oh my God, I have been like running, 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 and then not. So earlier this week, I sprained my ankle. Oh my God. I didn't even realize that I had done it until I got ready to get up and was like, "Oh my God, something's hurting." So, like, it's been a week. So I have done PT and all the things to try to get better. And so thank goodness I feel much better today. And so it's just been one of those things rolling around. I had to do all the foot stuff, all of that. And then now I'm back at it. So I am back in business. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. Um, I think my co-pilot may have overslept, but it'd be all right. She might pop in if she pops in um a little later. So we'll see what happens if she comes in. But so let's see. That was my week. Hope everybody's having a great week. Oh, DB, I feel so much better. Like I'm back up. I'm back in shoes. I was only in a boot for like 2 days, and then I did all the things that they wanted me to do. Um, nope, I didn't go on the bike ride because I woke up with a headache. So I'm not riding my motorcycle on with a headache. So I didn't get a chance to do that either. But things happen. But I did do a couple of things. So I made a few things. I'm gonna show y'all this. So I have all kinds of tools around here. So I 3D printed some things. The first thing, and you guys have seen this one before, but because I'm getting ready to do some more of my quilting and all of that, I wanted to make myself some binding holders. So I made me these little binding holders so that when I get the everything cut and ready to buy my quilts. I just have it so this way it gives me opportunity to prep and then just put it on there. So now today's Sunday Funday is all about notions. This is probably one of my favorite notions that I make myself. And literally, I can put my binding on here. This little heart that's on here is actually a paper clip so that when I get it wrapped all around here, because you wrap your binding around here and then you just clip it on there. And then now I got a nice project ready to go. So I got my binding ready to go. When you start doing quilting and all of that, notions are so, so important. So um, what I think I'm gonna probably do is for my projects, I'll have my binding pre-cut because I can cut that with my quilt, and then wind them on here and put them in my project bags. So it's a notion that I love. So yep, they are cute and functional. That's what I love, Renee. Like I like to have those. So yes, and I 3D printed these, so these are from my 3D printer. But absolutely love it. Let me tell you the other thing. So this is like a wall hanger, and so the white that you see here is actually glow in the dark, but it goes around the trim of the door or the trim of the window. I was just trying to do some stuff. She says, "I love anything hearts." Oh, I love that. Shantae, look, quilting is it is such a really good pastime, and one of the things that I love about quilting, um, is that, you take your time and do it. So it's one of those things that you shouldn't rush. It's not a race. Even though they have those jelly roll races, if you really see a jelly roll race, a lot of the times it takes a long time to get through the jelly roll race because if they're doing it the proper way, which means they're sewing, they're pressing, they're sewing, they're pressing, they're sewing, and they're pressing. They're not just sewing all of it at once and then going back and do a massive press. That's not how true quilting works. You're gonna sew, you're gonna press. You're gonna sew, you're gonna press. So with that, um, that's how the jelly roll races normally work. Um, and so it does, Miss Lauren, it does. It relieves stress. I saw a couple other people coming. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Miss Mary. Who else did I see? Oh, hey, Shay Shay. I thought I saw. Oh, and Miss Lauren. Hey, Miss Lauren. So yes, yes, yes. Now, oh, she said Shantae says she's finally learning her scan and cut. Yay, congratulations. You will love that scan and cut. It is like one of my favorite tools. Um, and so today we're going to talk about notions, but we're going to do a quick project too. I have a no sew project. But for those of you that are new to quilting, I actually will have, I think it's tomorrow. So tomorrow there's a preview or a what is it called? I have a video posted that I recorded yesterday for Quilting 101. And so it's going to become a series because I know there's a lot of people out there that are new to quilting, you are working on it, you are thinking about it, you may want to sew, and you want to add quilting to your life. And so, oh, thank you, Shantae, a premiere. Yes, because I forgot what it was. But yes, so with the premiere, you will learn a lot of the initial things. And so I want to make sure that at least for the people that pay attention to my channel and watch some of the things that I do, that you get an opportunity to understand some of the history and some of the just real information about it because I know there are a lot of new stitchers out there that want to quilt, which is great. Like I welcome it. I think it's amazing. Um, and one of the things that I want to make sure is that while we're doing this and while we're learning it, one of the things that I always say, there's no craft. Think about it like this. We love our embroidery machines. We love our lasers. Sometimes people will say to you, "Oh, do you have one of those Cricut machines?" Now, don't get me wrong, I started with a Cricut. Especially when they see like my acrylic and something that I've cut. "Oh, do you have one of those Cricut machines?" Well, some people will take that as an insult if they have been in industry for over 20 some years and they cut their signs with a laser like I do. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to disrespect, and I'll say we don't want to disrespect our grandparents because a lot of times, if you think back, it was probably our grandparents that were sewing and quilting and making all the things. So we don't want to disrespect our grandparents. And by using the right terms and all of that, and granted, there is 100% traditional quilting and modern quilting, but all of them still have the same techniques. So, if you recall from last week, we talked about quarter inch feet for your sewing machine. Oh, Miss Connie said that's how she learned from her grandmother. See, there you go. We don't disrespect our grandparents. Um, Miss Beverly, so the Quilting 101 will be a mixture. So right now it's just focused on the general stuff, so like the general things. But when it gets more when it as the series progresses, it will focus on quilting and embroidery and all of those. And if you have not already, excuse me, I posted a link in our Facebook page that talks a lot about it was an article that I wrote for Laser Focus where it talks about lasers, embroidery, and quilting because you can incorporate all three into a quilt. So and I wrote that article just to do that. Hey Miss Joy, welcome in. So we think Linda is asleep, but yeah, I think she fell asleep because she was tired the last time I talked to her. Um, so she may pop in. I'm not sure, Jesse. I'm not sure. Uh, but we'll see. Let's see. What was the other thing I was going to tell you guys? Oh, so last week we talked about quarter inch feet. Remember that? And so I asked the group to put into our Facebook group the different quarter inch feet. So let me show you. I did do some research. I went and grabbed everybody's machines and I put together the list. Um, I put together the list. You say, "Hey, Sean, we see Miss Linda." Oh, nope, I don't see her not yet. Um, So I put together the list of what everyone put into the Facebook group as of Friday. Now, my caveat is as of Friday, because if it was in there um, before then. So here's what we have. Uh-oh, that was supposed to be Miss Linda. Let's move that right there. Okay, so here's what we have. The different quarter inch feet that people had, but I wanted to bring a picture so you can see what your quarter inch foot looks like. Now, let me tell you, the good thing about brother machines is they are very, very, very universal. And so a lot of the brother machines use the same foot. And so I will post the picture of this inside of our Facebook group. If you're not a member, there's a link down in the there's a link to the Facebook group down off in our description. And so check that out. And it will tell you what those quarter inch feet look like. Because as you get ready to quilt and start quilting, the quarter inch foot is very, very important. Because a lot of times the patterns will say you need to sew with a quarter inch foot. Now, there are also scant quarter inches. What that means is they just want you to go right before the quarter inch. So there's a lot of different terms when it comes to quilting and sewing and embroidery that are going to be very, very important to you as you continue your sewing or stitching journey. But I did want to show you guys because I said if you posted it inside of the chat, inside of the Facebook group, I would go get the pictures for you of those different feet. And so these are the ones that I was able to find. And Brother, which is great, has a universal foot for most of these machines. It uses the same foot. So let's see. So what are you guys working on? Anybody working on anything great? What are y'all working on today? What have you been doing on your beautiful Sunday? I know earlier today we had Shay Shay go live. Joy went live. You know what? Lady Bear went live by herself on Saturday, which was awesome. She did a great job. I absolutely love the dog bandanas. Those are super cute. So, yes, wonderful, wonderful. You did a great job. Okay, Shay Shay. Sean, what did you think about my draw the 1/4 line until you understand your foot? I completely agree with that. So, I use this tape. So, this tape has um it actually has ooh, I'm sorry, the lights are getting me. It actually has a 1/4 inch on this, and so um you can literally do that. So drawing the 1/4 inch line is very, very helpful, because that makes you know where it is. Because sometimes on your machines, it will have like the 1/4 way up and you can't see it. So bringing it to where you can see it and making sure now it's very important that you make sure that your needle is centered on it because sometimes your needle is not centered on it and it can be very very confusing. So yes, Sean, my craft room sign you made is fire. The Caribbean green looks like it came out of a Tiffany store. You're welcome. Oh my God, I can't wait to see a picture. Please post a picture. Miss Jennifer says she's cleaning. Miss Ann says she's embroidering labels right now. Now let me tell y'all, Miss Ann, that is so important, right? So when you start in quilting, when you start with sewing, embroidery, handbags, you have to have a label. You got to put something on there to show that you made this. Like you got to have a label. Now, here's the thing. If you're if that is also true for t-shirts, but be mindful the apparel industry is so different, whereas you have to have specific things must be by law on the garments. So you got to be careful for that. Know and understand what you're doing before you rip out those tags. Um, especially if you're selling it. Okay. So just be mindful of that. But you have to put something on there. Um, let's see. Jelly roll placements. I'm not sure. Miss Connie, what do you mean by jelly roll? Oh, placemats. You're working on jelly roll placemats. Okay. Hey, Ruji, welcome in. Ooh, Kristen says she worked on 3 quilt blocks. Go, girl. Congratulations. Lady Bear said, I finally did the design board. Oh, you will love having your design board. That works so good. Look, Lady Bear, everybody says the same thing. You did a good job yesterday. Look at that. Miss Lauren says she's working on Mr. Heckle's handbag. Okay, Miss Lauren. Renee says she finished her bunny quilt wall hanging. Congratulations. Hey, Smurfs Creations, welcome in. Um, let's see. Yes, that's the tape I was talking about, Miss Vera. Okay, so you were talking about this tape, Miss and you can get it off of Amazon. Amazon has it, so you can definitely get that. Shantae says she's making an in the hoop baby wipe holder. Oh wow. Okay, watching and listening to live. That should be cute, Shantae. Make sure you post a picture in our Facebook group. What is that? So this is a roll of tape, Lady Bear. I think this is what you're talking about. So this roll of tape has 3 lines on it, but it identifies the 1/4 inch. So if I were to pull this off, and lay this in front of my quarter inch. I would line this up with the quarter inch on my machine and just lay it down until it hits to the edge. I have mine all the way to the edge of my machine so that I know where my quarter inch is. Now, I also use my guide. So this is another notion. This is a notion, your quarter inch tape notions. This is also another notion. So this is my guide that I use. Now, one thing to note, my machine is metal. So because it's metal and this magnet does stick and stay. So it has to have some metal to stick and stay on it. But it is I've had this thing probably, I don't know. It's this is called a guide. So it's called a sewing guide. I probably had this thing maybe 5 years, 6 years or so, but it's called a sewing guide. And I absolutely love it. And so basically what you do with this is on my sewing machine, I have my quarter inch. So I would it would adhere itself to my quarter inch on the guide, and then I would lift it up, put the fabric underneath, and I can show you here in a second. Put the fabric underneath, and it's ready to roll right through. So it'll just sew straight through, and it'll hold my fabric down as well as it's guiding it. So it guides the fabric there because you don't have to really hold the fabric, but it guides the fabric through underneath the needle. Um, and I'm gonna see if I can actually get my other camera to do a close up on that. Um, but yeah, let me see what else is going on in the comments. Let's see. Ruji says, I'm trying to make my dog a service vest. Oh, that sounds cute. What's your Facebook name? Your hyperlink is inactive under description. Oh, I'm sorry. So it is called Go Time, GEAUX time. I'll get it and post. I'll drop it in the chat here. I know. So if you haven't heard about Applique Getaway is a ooh, you know what? I broke my little thing. My spring came off. Applique Getaway is coming to Dallas. It happens here every year. It was recently taken over. The lady that had been doing it for a number of years decided to retire and sell it. But Applique Getaway is a both a training and a just a fun time. You get to learn things, you get to do stuff. And one of the things um, that you do, registration just opened for it, and so it has it's out there. There's so many classes. There's going to be so many vendors, and so you get to see folks travel from all over to just come hang out at Applique Getaway. But it's going to be a fun time. So it's all about embroidery, sewing, and applique, of course. So you'll be able to find a lot of stuff there. I just posted the link to the Facebook group. Let me see. Miss Ann says she's making labels for a church that makes bags. Oh, that's nice. That is really nice. Miss Joyce. Oh, okay. I'm reading the book on my machine. The labels will be my first project. Nice, Miss Evelyn. Hey, I'm biased. Welcome in. Hey, wait a minute. Has everybody received, except for I'm biased because I know yours just shipped. Has everyone else received their winnings from the raffle from the giveaway a couple of weeks ago? Stacy. Oh, Miss Ann says she took a quilt class after my guild. I'll post a picture. Yes, nice. I know, Shay Shay, I'm loving all the new quilters too. Accuracy will come with time. Let me tell you. Oh, safe driving out there, Rachel. So yes, accuracy is one of those things. Now, I know sometimes, we try our best to be perfect. and get, do all the things and perfect it. But it is important. This is why I stress taking your time and making sure that when you're quilting, it's not a race because you do want accuracy. You do want your corners to meet up. You do want all of those things to happen. So it is very important that you take your time, um, and you press. Now let me tell y'all something, because I heard somebody say this yesterday. I think it was Lady Bear. Press to the dark side. So what press to the dark side means is when you are quilting and you have your seams. Where's my little quilt block? I had a quilt block up here. And you have your seams where you have ironed them or you're about to iron them. What you want to make sure, oh man, I had a quilt block. I promise you I did. It was one of those ones that was gonna go in the quilt but didn't make it. So all right, press to the dark side. Let me look real quick. I'm trying to find, and I know I have a block here somewhere because I've been doing all the things today. But okay, so let's talk about it. And I may just have to make whip up. Look, I might have to whip up a quick block real quick for you, just to show you. So if I were, let me take two pieces here. I know I got a quilt block here somewhere. But anyway, so if I were to take these two pieces and I put them together, and what press to the dark side means is once I sew these together, and this is a Christmas one, so I can't mess this up because I really want to use this Christmas. So when I take these two and I have stitched them, when I press to the dark side, that means the darkest fabric that I have, which is this green, there's a white and there's a green. I'm going to press my entire seam to the dark side. So it's going to press this way. Now, what about if I had this one and this one? Now, this becomes my dark side because they're both white or cream color, but this one, because it has all the color stuff in it, becomes my dark side. So I'm going to press my seams toward this piece. The reason why you do that, is it's basically saving the color. So normally in a quilt, you have three different pieces most of the time, and most of the patterns will call for three different pieces: a light, a dark, and a medium. And that's the colors of the fabric. So when you do that, they say press to the dark side, and that's to the darkest side of material. And in this case, it's the material that has the most print. Because if you think about it, if I press this seam to this side, when I open it up, you're going to see the colors of this behind here, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to see those colors. So it helps to make sure that when you're pressing your quilt, that the colors are on the right side. So it's kind of like if you were a female and you had on a white shirt and then you decided to wear a pink bra underneath it. Well, unless that was just your fashion for that day, nobody probably wanted to see that. So, but in this case, you don't want to see the red and stuff peeking behind the sheer white. So that's why they say press to the dark side. Um, but yeah, I heard Lady Bear was asking about that yesterday. So it was really good. And Lady Bear, congratulations on completing your first quilt block today. Yay. Um, let's see. What else? How do you use that? How do I use what, Lady Bear? Trying to remember what I had in my hand. Um, I have, okay. Oh, you say you don't use it, right, Rougie? Okay. Yep, I'll show you how. Magnetic seam guide. That's the one I use. I know, I'm biased. I sent you the link for it, remember? Um, I have the little one that doesn't have the nice clamp. Yeah, so, yep, Madam So on the ruler guide. Yep, yep, yep. Let's see. Go time. I have the fabric on top of the guide. Oh, no, it should go underneath the guide. Um, okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading through the comments. Okay, you guys are talking about Applecake Getaway. Shantae say, I won a crazy big prize last year. I have to buy a suitcase to get home. I'll never get to use it all. You know what, Shantae? I didn't make it to last year because I was at the laser conference. But the year before, I won that big tower thing from All About Blanks. So that thing was huge. And you're right. I'm still using some of those towels. So yes, it's gonna be great to see you guys all at Applique Getaway. So I'm not sure where Miss Linda is. I think she may have fallen asleep. Um, oh yes, my package was waiting for me when I returned from my cruise today. Oh, welcome back from your cruise. I'm glad you got it. Lady Bear says she posted it on the wrong page, I think, but Shay Shay keeps trying to steal it from me. Well, go post it on the right page, Lady Bear. So Miss Ann says, I challenge myself to do a new quilt technique. Ooh, sometimes I don't complete it. Hey, we have to take our time. Of my 6 to 12.5 blocks, most are 12.5. Well, one of the things, Kristen, when you're doing quilting and you're looking at your block size, one of the things to think about is you don't necessarily you can square it up. Like you can always square it up. And in one of the sessions that I'm going to do, I'm going to show some really cool techniques in how to square your blocks and also how to change your blocks up. So I think it's going to get really, really interesting with the quilting and all of that. Hey, precious pieces, welcome in. Let's see. Yes, May the 4th be with everybody. Look, I posted my little May the 4th, and it's a 1/4 inch seam for us that love to sew. So yes, yes, unbiased pink. There had to be. Somebody like, what? You pressing the wrong way. Okay, Lady Bear. I definitely did ask that. So, okay, but I hope I answered your question, Lady Bear. Um, so Christian said, what about pressing the seams open? Is that an okay thing? So it is, it just depends on you. Some people do press open, some people press to um the dark side. It just depends on what you're doing. So you can press it open. When I first started, I was pressing open. Now I press more to the dark side. Depends on what I'm working on. Um and if I want to or don't want to see the boat. Like if it just depends on what's going on with that quilt. A lot of times the quilt instructions will tell you what to do. Now if you out here winging it, you might want to press to the dark side. But if you're reading the instructions, the pattern writer normally will mention press to the dark side or press the seams open. Um, let's see. What about okay. Let's see. Which way to press seams is a preference, but some designs tell you which way to press. Yep, that's true, Shay Shay. I think that's what I just said. Yep, yep. Um, I have a lot of quilting notions, but I swear I need them all. Let me tell you. Um, yes, thank you, Shay Shay, for answering the questions. But so I think, it's like scissors, right? So we have scissors for everything. And I just took mine off me. So I had my little snips on me. We have the scissors, quilting, embroidery, sewing, all of it is quite expensive. And so, Donzel, I don't know. Everybody just asked. I think she may have fallen asleep. So, I'm not sure. But, yeah, so I'm not sure. But what we do have is all the things. So when I'm thinking about scissors, for example, I think that's one of the great things. If you think about how we use scissors in embroidery, like I have a different set of scissors for embroidery versus my scissors that I use for like cutting out patterns and things like that. Now I'm gonna tell you because my scissors are all very special. And I make sure that if anyone coming into my craft space wants to borrow something or use something, I always say, look at it first before you touch my stuff. Because look at these. You see what that says? Well, you probably don't. It's probably backwards. But these are for leather. And it should only cut leather. Nothing else. Should just be for my leather. This one, paper. It's just for paper. These don't have anything on it, but if you touch them and cut anything other than fabric, I'm gonna stab you with them. These are paper. Like I have written on my scissors so that people know. And see, you see these big old handles? That's a big handle right there. But it's because when you cut in leather, you need to be able to press it, press it, press it. But I mean, writing on your stuff, labeling it with a permanent marker. So when people come to your craft space, they know what it is, and they're not gonna mess it up. But all these my black scissors, yeah, no, they stay up under here, and I have a 10-inch pair too. But it is literally so that people that come into my space would know what to do and what not to do. And so it's so important because like downstairs, I have my applique scissors. And by the way, I got scissors just for batting. So if you are getting ready to do some quilting, so these are just for batting. And I have the long rolls. And so when I get ready to cut my long rolls, I don't have to do much. I just, keep going that way. And so these are the batting ones. But yes, she said, "I tell my family and they still grab my scissors and use them." Rosalind, girl, you gonna have to make it hurt. Shock them or something, girl. Be like, "Look, these are y'all's." And then, you know what, you might have to get you a little lock box. Lo Lock them up for a little while. Lock up your scissors for a little while. Be like, "Mm-mm," because it's a lot. It is a lot. Miss Vera says, "I've been organizing my fabrics. It's incredible how quick a collection can grow. Cotton, minky, fur, sequins, canvas, thermofoam, African, and on and on. Then colors, then theme prints." Absolutely, Miss Vera. Like, yes, it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing. Miss Ann says, "I need a pair of those for batting." Who was? So Linda's Electric Quilts was giving away batting shears. I think it was last week. They were giving away those for if you purchase. I don't remember what you had to purchase, but if you purchase something, they were giving you some batting shears. Um, Kristen says she grew up knowing not to touch the sewing scissors. I know, right? I tried to color coordinate them and hide them. I'm going to have to do something. Yes, because let me tell you, once your scissors go dull, it is so hard like to remember I need to go buy some scissors or I need to take them somewhere and get them sharpened. I have a stone, but I really don't know how to use that thing. I need to figure that out because I do have a stone. I just need to do it. Hobby Lobby has them and should be on sale this week. Okay, Miss Beverly. Okay. Yeah, because those are the Fiscus ones. Those Fiscus ones are the ones that I use for my batting. And I have several. I think I have two pair of those. There's another pair over by the long arm. Um, can you come do mine next? Miss Vera, Miss Evelyn said, come do her organize her room. So yes, I'm trying to think what else. Oh, other notions that I like. Now, I'm almost out, but this is my favorite little glue. It's called Rebecca's. And it's a basting glue. A lot of people use like the spray glues, and I have a couple cans of those, like the Fuse-Its and things like that. But when I'm getting ready to put down my binding, I tack down a little, use a little bit of this to tack it down. You iron it, and once you iron it, it's ready to go. Like it's gonna stay in place. It's not permanent. It washes right out, but it is definitely it will definitely hold while you put your binding on or sew it on so that it's down. Another thing I like, I know a lot of people don't like it, but these are my two favorite starches. Now, when it comes to a starch, I use Best Press and I also use, y'all remember Magic, the old school Magic? So Magic has just a quilting one. And I mean, it doesn't flake, it doesn't do any of that stuff. The other thing that I use is flatter. So now, let me tell you why this is important. A lot of times with our starches, starches can sometimes cause your fabric to pull or have the fiber spread apart. With flatter, it doesn't have all the ingredients that are in starch. So it literally just presses it flat because what you want when you're doing your quilting, what you want is to make sure that it is as flat as it can be, which is why it's so important to sew, press, sew, press. Because if you wait to press after you've sewn everything, you may not get the right seam allowance that you thought you were getting, because of the fact you didn't press the fabric out beforehand. So it's very important that you do that. She said, "Listen, don't be talking about my Dollar Tree stuff. Hey, use what you got." But I'm telling you what I like. I'm just saying these are mine, and so here's another thing too, right? So my quilts I sell. So because I sell my quilts, those are the tools that I use because I sell my quilts. So if your quilt's for you, it might be a little, yeah, no, I'm still using this on my quilt too. So I wouldn't kid you not. I kid you not. I'm gonna use this on my quilt too. But at the same time, it's important just to make sure that if you are, that you understand what it could potentially do. So now I still use starch, but I would love to have me one of those little irons that's like old school iron that doesn't have like the ability to put water in it. So I do have my one iron, sorry. I do have my one iron that I don't put water in, which is my little Tula pink iron. So this iron has not seen water and will never see water. So this will be my Olicio iron that has no water. And then I do sell this. It's on my website. Um but yeah, so the Alicio iron, this one is a Tula pink iron. So that one is has I don't put water in there. Now I have a Panasonic iron that is a 360 iron, which means it's cordless. I can basically get into the corners of the fabric and basically go from there. So it is a 360 iron. Trying to think. What else? What else? What else? Sean, do you wash the fabric before sewing? I don't. No, I haven't. And the only reason why I have not is because I feel like the customer is probably gonna wash it when they get it, and I actually don't wash it after either. Like after I finish quilting and all of that, and no, I don't do that because most of the time the I'm buying quilting cotton, so it may shrink. I don't know, Miss Ann. Miss Ann, have you seen any of your stuff shrink? She says, "Love my Panasonic iron better than Alicio." Okay, So I don't wash, and it's because um people have allergies and things like that. Even with these sprays, I use the non-scented and all of that. So I yeah, because people have allergies and things, and I wouldn't want to wash their fabric. So no, I don't wash the fabric. I buy the quilted cottons and things like that to use because of that. Um I'm biased. Oh, Shay Shay said washing before quilting. I've heard people doing that, but baby, no. I'm biased said my cost $1 at the thrift store. What was the dollar at the thrift store? Did you get an iron? Girl, that's a good price. Okay. And Miss Ann says she doesn't wash her fabric either. Yeah. I think for me, yeah, I just don't do it. Yeah, Miss DB, because it's one of those things you don't want, and here's the reason. So even like after it's quilted and all of that, I definitely do not wash it because here's what happens. So once you have quilted it, it is the most beautiful after the quilting because when it I actually give instructions with my quilts too about how to take care of it, and I ask people not to put it in the dryer if they feel like they have to put it in the dryer, to put it on, delicate and just let it do 1 cycle of delicate and then let it air dry. Um Oh, yeah, Chris says, "If you wash anything, it can't be sold as new by law." That's true. I mean, 'cause you just washed it. Oh god. I would hate that. Like, the quilting looks so beautiful once you're done. Um, so yeah, it's very important that you understand the rules. Like it's so important to do that. Even with embroidery, right? Which is why now that was another good reason why I switched my toppers. So in embroidery, we use toppers for things that have heavy pile like towels and all of that. I always felt like I was washing the people's towels if I had to put water on it to get that stabilizer off the top of it. So at least with the heat away, I could heat that thing up and just roll the heat over it and it just rolls off. And so I didn't feel like I was wetting the fabric and all of that. I just felt a little weird wetting people's fabric to get that topper off of there, especially on the towels. I really did. So finding heat away made me I felt a little bit better. I don't wash fabric either. I did it once, never again. Miss Lawrence says, "I like the Kai knife edge and the Guggenheim scissors." Guggenheim scissors are so nice. I love them too. The iron I use is the small Olicio pink and the large Rowenta iron with the large water tank. Oh my God, Miss Lauren, I used that iron, the Rowenta iron, at the retreat that my Quote Gill went to last year, and we're going to this year. Ooh, I need to put that on my calendar. And it was wonderful. That row went to iron with that water tank. Oh my God. When I tell you your material was flat, oh my God, it was so nice. Miss Kristen said, even with knitting, I never laundered the blanket I made. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, that Rowenta iron was, ooh-wee, so nice. Yes. I'm using my HGTV Runt Mini. Okay, okay, that's good. A Mini 3. That's the iron, right, Lady Bear? I think so, right? So, yeah, yeah. I think anything because the Mini doesn't have to have water, and you literally can press. So, that's another thing. So, when we are supposed to be ironing, it is literally a press and pull up. Because sometimes, like, we iron stuff, so this isn't ironing. It is literally a press. So you put the hot iron on there, press and hold it. Some people also use some people also use the a clapper, which is a piece of wood to add additional press. And what the clapper does is once you put that hot iron on there, it holds down the heat into that fabric so that it does stay. So it's an additional piece to hold the fabric down. There are I want to make me one of the pressing bars, and I said I was going to do that. The where I get my heat away from is either Floriani or, All Stitch. All Stitch has it as well, so I have both, of those. I also have the Best Press, yes, Best Press is really good. I like it. I need help with lasering my clapper. Okay. And, so here's the thing, so the clapper's pretty thick, so we'll have to do it like we'll have to do it kind of like I would do a cutting board. So when you make a cutting board with the laser, you literally are stacking pieces of wood to get it to the thickness that you want. But yes, we can definitely do that. What else? Oh God, I have talked for an hour and our buddy Miss Linda hasn't shown up yet. So you know what? We'll talk about her later. You all can leave her a note in the comment asking where she was. Be like, "Linda, Linda, where you at? Where you at, Linda?" Miss Lauren says she uses the clapper for her quilts as well. So, guys, let me tell you, the other notion that I don't live without is ink pens and markers. I mean, y'all don't even want to know, but I have a problem with pens. So every country I go to, I got pens from every country. Like I've been to so many countries, I got so many pens. They have these stores in New York that have all these pens that's just focused on pens. It's a problem. It is now that's a problem for me. Like my scissors is a problem, pens is also a problem. But as you can see, well, you can't really see that close, but up here, there's a lot of pens, but there's also a lot of my other notions that I love. And I cannot tell you all how important it is to have a couple of rulers. So rulers is important, and I think one of the things is that I passionately intrigued. She said, "I've been to Bushes, but I wanted to speak." Thank you so much for coming in. So I wanted to we're gonna do I'll do one of the sessions just on cutting and rulers because I think that is so important. And one of the rulers that I have right here in front of me, you will learn it. One of these will become your best friend. And I actually have two because, and when you start, like if you decide you want to go join a quilt guild and all of that, my live was off, but I need to know where the store is in New York with the pens. It's called I think it's Murray. Hold on, let me look because I got a pen over here with the name on it. Oh no, Muji. It's a Japanese store. Muji. And I think they've been coming down somewhere down here in the lower 48 too. So let me show you this. This is one of my notions that I love. It's one of my smaller cutting mats, but it rotates, it moves like oops, the top is coming off. But this one moves. And one of the things that I like to do when I'm cutting, you can actually move things. So hold on one second. Let me see here. Wrong. I apologize. I thought I had um let me there we go. So it moves. It is one so that when you're cutting, let me hold on. I'm gonna grab a fat quarter. And then here's a square one. So y'all know Joann's is going out of business. If they haven't gone in your location, they probably have a sale on these things. This one is 12 by 12 and it also moves. So these things move. Um, it's very important when you are thinking about when you're cutting and you're doing things with the quilt. And so we're gonna talk about we'll talk about rulers in one of the sessions because there's so many different ones. And there's like these, I think Miss Linda Gray actually likes these. These are the block locks. So block lock rulers, they have a oh gosh, an indention inside of it. Of course, this will cut your perfectly square, your perfect triangles. But my favorite rulers, I've always said this. I like block locks, but once I found 3 rulers or 3 ruler makers, I was done. Quilter Select is my first. It's my number 1. And let me tell you, on the quilting rulers, you should feel on the back, they have like a texture. What that is a grip. It is a grip. So it may look frosted and all of that, but this is the grip because when you're trying to cut, you need your ruler to stay in place so that it is not shifting. While we do put pressure and put our hands on it, you really want it to stay. So what that means is the back of this has what's called grip ease or something to make it stay on the fabric. And so it's very important that it has that. So most of the time, sometimes you'll see it, it'll have that. Now there are others. My second favorite ruler is Creative Grids. Now, Creative Grids, you see all these dots here? This is where the grip is. This is on the back. On the front is the numbers and everything, but on the back, you can feel it. This is what is there to help grip the fabric. Wait a minute, hold on. Smurf Creation says ours did to no rulers or mats. Um, Hold on. Miss Linda Gray says she has a pen addiction too. Um, Kristen, one of these moving, cutting things helps showing up. Oh, keep showing up in your feed. Yes. I have one of those. I will be getting the rotating cutting board. Local Joann's is cleaned out. Oh man, sorry about that, Kristen. I have the Fiskars. Got it from Hobby Lobby for 40% off. That was a good deal, Miss Merlinda. Is it best to cut the right side or wrong side of the fabric? So here's what I normally do, Kristen. So I cut with my fabric face up because there's a couple of things. And we'll in the video that I'm posting tomorrow, it'll talk about some more parts of the fabric. But I cut with it face up because I mean, face down doesn't get me anything. So I need to see what I'm cutting. And I want to see where. Like if this had a pattern on it, let's grab one with a pattern. So if this had a pattern, then I may not want to, if I'm just trying to get 4 by 4 or if I'm trying to get a 5 by 5, then I may want to cut in a specific place, which is called fussy cutting. So I may want to cut in a specific place. Let me turn some light on here. So I may want to cut like these flowers out right here. If I'm cutting from the back, I might cut down here somewhere. No, I want to see what I'm cutting. So this way you can actually see what you're cutting. But if you just wanted to cut right here, that's called fussy cutting. Now, my third favorite rulers, because I told y'all I love first is Quilter Select. And the reason why I love Quilter Select is because they have, not only do they have 1 through 8, this is an 8-inch ruler. Remember Shay Shay needed that 8-inch ruler. So 1 through 8. but they also have the different degrees. If I needed a 60-degree triangle, I know where my 60-degree line is. I know where my 45-degree line is, and I know where my 30-degree line is. They have different measurements on here. Same for creative grids. Creative grids has the exact same thing. The thing to remember is on the back of these, where these dots are, where these lines are, this is the thing to help you to grip the fabric. Um, in quilting, there are no double-sided rulers. I'm just gonna say that. Okay? None. All right. My third ruler of choice is called the Stripology ruler. And before I got my AccuQuilt, um, these were my go-to for creating my strips. And I know some people have some of them. There is a beautiful one by June Taylor, and I didn't know June Taylor made them. But this is the Stripology ruler, and it is also made by Creative Grids. So for me, the Stripology ruler made by Creative Grids makes sure that I'm going to have all the right lines in all the right places. Because let me tell y'all, sometimes you can buy a ruler, it may say 9 inches, it might not be. Like I have found that some rulers are not true. So again, look at this on the back. It has the sticky. Now, how about this? What if your ruler no longer sticks or it doesn't feel like it's sticking, right? There are things you can buy. More notions, right? These are called grip strips. You can add grip strips to the back of your ruler to help it be non-slip. There's also grippy. Grippy you can spray on the back of your ruler so that you can grip. It can grip the fabric. Shay Shay, I'm messy. You messy. I ordered that ruler already. Which one? So there are things because when you're cutting, it is so important that this stuff does not move. Can you imagine cutting and then it all the way go over this way? Like you just messed up. Like you just messed up a $12 piece of fabric. Who does that? We don't want to do that. So this now here's one of the things I really love. So on this ruler, and we'll get more into it on the ruler day. We're gonna do a ruler work. I'm gonna do a ruler work session. But on this ruler, it has stars, it has identifiers to tell me where I wanted to cut. Like if I wanted to cut 2-inch strips, then it tells me how to do that. Now here is the big boy. This one is 20 inches. So it is 13 by 20. And you have to, so here's another tip. You should keep your rulers either flat or hanging so that they are straight. You do not want your rulers to warp. Because it's acrylic, it can warp. So make sure it's in not too hot of a location because they're pretty thin and they can warp, and you don't want a warped ruler. So either laying them flat, standing them up where they're straight, you want to make sure. Yep, the grip dots. I do love the grip dots are good too. So this is, and we'll go through this ruler at another time, but I just wanted to show it to you. This one has a lot of different things too. And Gudrun, who's the lady that designed this ruler, she's pretty awesome. I love her. She's a very nice lady. Um, she did it so that we could cut our strips. That's the same for the one by June Taylor. June Taylor has a huge one like this as well, and then the small size. But these rulers help you when you're trying to cut. Now, one of the things that Shay Shay said earlier, don't go out there buying all this stuff right away. You can get by with two rulers. And I'm going to show y'all my first two rulers, which are another set of notions. But these are the first two rulers that I got that I used when I first started. And I still have them and I still use them today, but they were the first 2 that I purchased, and they work for everything I needed when I first started. And so you don't have to buy all these rulers. I'm showing you what I have now because some of the things that I've sold have purchased a new ruler, but I want to make sure that you understand that you don't have to have all these things. But these are the 2 that I started out with right here. This one, which is a Fiskars ruler, and this Omni Grid. I got it from Joann's. You know I did. These are my first 2 rulers. I still have them. This Omni Grid ruler, this lady told me at the Quilt Guild, she said, just get these 2, baby. That's all you need for now. And I said, yes, ma'am. And that's what I bought. And guess what? They worked. Now this one doesn't have a whole lot of grip on the back. But I've sprayed it a couple times because I need it. Like you can put strips on here and all of that. But this is again, this one has a lot of grip. So OmniGrid had a lot of grip on the back. But this one also, the lady showed me how to use this ruler and how to use all the lines. So you don't have to have all of that. This is my 6 by 24-inch ruler. So this is that. And so this is what she told me I could use. And that's what I used for like maybe 5 years until I found, I'm like, she told me to wait and look and see what I would like. And so the 3 that I really like are Creative Grids and Quilter Select and my Stripology. But these I have hanging up on my wall, and my Creative Grids is flat on the wall over by my sewing station. I have the 2 rulers. Yes. The 6 by 24 is everything. And so, oh, thank you, Miss Sherry. I do like this fabric too. Miss Linda Gray says she has the June Taylor strip ruler. I got them years ago when tie blankets were popular. Baby, you have all the things. Yes, Miss Patricia. Listen, I have some stuff for my rulers. To sticky is too much. Okay. I also have Miss Linda Gray said I also have the grip dots. Yes, the grip dots are really good as well. Shay Shay says she gonna start her a GoFundMe. What size of stripology is a good to start with? So it depends, Shantae, because there's a size that's in between that small one and the big one that I have. Um, and I would say go with what you can afford. So like that big one is pretty huge, but at the time I did not have my AccuQuilt and I was doing a lot of quilts. I was actually, people were paying me for the quilts, so I wanted to make sure that the strips were accurate. I was cutting properly, all of that, because I'm a horrible cut. Like literally, I need the tools to be able to cut. And so um, I would say go with what you can afford. If you're going to cut a lot of strips, and you want to do that, I would get the big one. But there is one in between that small one and the big one. So everything I can do with the big one, I could actually do with the middle one. And so that middle one could do everything with the small one. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the small and the large. So that's how I ended up rationalizing getting the bigger one. The color of the mat also has an impact on the rulers I buy. However, I love the same rulers. Yes, Miss Kim, welcome in. So you are so right because I have the mat from Martelli, and my mat is yellow. And so you are right. The mat color does matter. A lot of times though, what I found with the yellow and on the back side of that Martelli mat, there's purple. But I don't flip mine over because I've like stuck it to the table. It's literally down, ain't going nowhere. But you're right. So if you were cutting white on a mat like this, you want to be able to see the differences and stuff. But just cutting, like, if I was just cutting something like this, you know, as long as I knew what I was trying to cut, if I was trying to cut, I don't know, on the bias. And so when you're cutting on the bias and you're going at an angle, you'll be able to cut just by holding it down, but it makes a difference for that fabric. I have my rulers hanging. Yep. These strip rulers are good for making tassels. It is good for making tassels. It sure is. I'm going to go to Sean's house when I go to AG. I don't know that my house is going to be open. I don't know. Might be closed. Um, those strip rulers will break at the slots. Ask me how I know. What you do, Miss Linda? Did you cut yours too much? Did you cut into it? Okay, I'm catching up. I'm catching up. Miss Beverly says I have them, baby. The 6 by 24 is everything. Miss Lawrence says you can purchase the grip dots to add to the back of your rulers. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Donzel. The yellow markings on the Omni grid are hard for me to see. So, Miss Kim, I understand that. So that is why I think that's why Omni grid were they did all theirs in black, right? So that way you can see it. Now, let me see something though, because I don't recall, like if I have this black, I don't think I ever paid attention. So I can still see this. Um, hold on, I'm gonna move this down. So I can still see, like if I was gonna cut here, I can still see the numbers and the lines. So I can still see all of that right here. So I mean it's still visible. So if I was planning to cut a square out of here, literally, I could still do it. Because I can still see even on the black because they have the white lines in here too to offset that. So having those different colors, so you got your 1 inch here. Now, this line here is always my 1/4 inch seam. So right here in this space is a 1/4 inch on all the rulers. Okay. Let me catch up. Let me catch up. Oh, I think I'm caught up. Yay. Miss Ann said June Taylor makes one too called Shape Cut. It's great to have. I use the June Taylor ruler at my I used the June Taylor ruler at my quilt retreat last year. So it's really nice. Very, very similar to my stripology ruler. Shay says that 1/4 inch just triggered me. Oh no, don't be looking at the 1/4 inch, Shay Shay. Walk away. I never noticed until my sister bought one over her unique color mats. As a result, she got me my Omni rulers. Oh, that was nice. That was really nice. Yeah, it makes a difference. It does make a difference. So yes, so there's a lot of different rulers, a lot of different things. So I will in one of the upcoming premieres have a session on rulers and then we can talk about it the following Sunday. All right. So I was gonna actually make something, but I done talked the whole hour and a half almost. So let me show y'all what I was gonna make. So I was just gonna make me a new box because I got these new clips. See these clips? They are super strong, super strong. And so I was just gonna make me a cute little box with a rivet and just a square. All I needed was a square. So let me do it. I'm gonna do it real quick. It's not gonna take long. And y'all finna see a different ruler because because I have the rulers. I do have all the rulers. Um, so I'm gonna cut me now that ruler is called add a quarter. So when you are paper piecing, that ruler becomes so important. And I apologize. I'm putting these I have to put these back in a little hole to put them back on the board here. but the ruler that I just laid there is called add a quarter. And we're gonna quickly make a cute little box that I can put my little things in. Rulers are a trigger. Shay Shay. No ma'am Pam. We're gonna need you not to do that. No triggering. No triggering on the rulers. So this is called the add a quarter ruler. And to be honest, I'm just gonna use this to cut because right now I don't really need a specific size box. I just wanted to make a cute box. All right, so we're gonna make this 10 inches by whatever this is, 10 by 12, and it's some pretty butterflies. So this rotary cutter that I have right here is an ergonomic rotary cutter. If you cut a lot, and a lot, it is by Martelli, and there are some other ergonomically correct rotary cutters. This one just made me feel like I need to get a new blade, which is probably true. Um, but this is the Martelli ergonomically correct cutter. A lot of people, some people don't like it. You either love it or hate it, but for me, I like it because I just literally put my hand here and push it up. That's all I have to do. All right, so I'm going to make, all I need are rivets and a rivet press to make this little cute box that I'm about to make here in 0.2 seconds. So let me, and I thought about, oh, I am dropping things. I thought about, this is my rivet box. I thought about using this clear vinyl, which is super cute. Let me see. I'm sorry for moving this one, but it has the sewing machines. It has like sewing machines and needles and thread and all of that. It's kind of like a clear a clear vinyl. But I thought about using this, but maybe later. So this is really easy. So I'm gonna get four rivets, and I think I'm going to use. Let's use this. I'm just gonna use four. I just need four. Wait, that might be too long because I don't need. Yeah, that is too long. So let's get four short ones. Um, Thank you. Yes, I love cutting with that rotary Smurfs Creations. Let's see, one, making sure I got four rivets. Okay, now I have four rivets. Ooh, I should have used that brass, might be prettier. Okay, let's do that. I need the short ones. We're gonna do this brass because the brass is pretty. Okay, so all I'm going to do to make this box, and you'll get to see how setting something with a rivet is so quick, so easy, and 100% no sew. It ain't going nowhere, nowhere. So here's what I'm gonna do. First, all I'm doing, oops, I want you to see this. Hey Nicole, welcome in. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm going to take this. I'm gonna use my cute little clips that I got that I want to put them in here, and I'm going to pin it first because I just want to make sure that it's going to be like I want it. And so all I'm doing is kind of dog earring and making it match the edges here. Now there's also a box that you can do like this, and you can sew it if you'd like. I left my embroidery machine running. You know, they say you can stay with your machine as soon as you walk away. Yes. Now, Miss Ann, I thought you had a 1055. You can open that phone app, let it know to let you know what's going on. Okay, so now this shows me exactly how it's gonna look. Now it's a little bit oblong, but I can also bring it in a little bit too. But I kind of like that because if I wanted to, I can put something in here to hold it, but I think that's okay. And so one of the things that you can do because it's not a hard vinyl, because this is vinyl, but I can press this down to kind of make it more of a box. Now it is more of a box. Oops, put it back in the view. So it's more of a box. Now let me grab my hole punch. Look at honey. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Look, in my knocking down stuff, I knocked down my little snack. I had like a little bowl of snacks, and honey is trying to get it, and she doesn't need this. It'll make her sick. I don't want her to be sick because there's some spicy wasabi stuff in here. Can't believe I did that. I apologize. I'm coming right back. I'll be popping back up here in a second. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't want the dog to get sick. We can't have a sick dog. Okay. So I'm gonna grab my handy dandy hole puncher right here. My hole puncher. And then I'm gonna get my cam snap. Ooh, which this baby is heavy. And so I'm gonna put my cam snap right over here. And this is what I'm gonna set the rivet with. Wow, that would be good to use faux vinyl sheets. Yes, ma'am, it sure would. It sure would. You could also use snaps in the corner. That's what I'm about to do. Oh, I'm even using rivets, but you can use snaps, you can even sew it together. It's up to you. For me, this is my no sew method, and it's gonna be quick and what I call the quick and dirty, easy peasy way to do it. Okay, I'm trying to get all the things in here so you all can see what happens. So what I'm gonna do first is punch a hole in here. And so once I get my hole in there, I can move that out. Then I'm gonna put my little rivet in here. And all I want to do, uh-oh, is, ooh, that's too long. See, that's way too long. So let me get a shorter rivet. But before I do, I am going to clip this back. I'll go ahead and put all the holes in here. So then all we have to do is put the rivets and set them. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, my name is Sean. I don't even think I introduced myself. I am the owner of Go Savvy Designs. I have been technically I started sewing when I was in high school, so that's been over 30 years. Um, but I started quilting over 10 years ago. And so my goal was I wanted to make my niece a quilt before she went to college. And I did that. That was the reason why I got started, was to make her a quilt so that she could take to college. All right, so now let's get some smaller rivets. And I'm probably gonna have to go back to these black ones because that's the smallest. Well, I got some little silver, so I'm gonna get for these. Let me make sure it's smaller because if it's not, then it's not fitting the purpose. Okay, it's not. So guess what? I'm gonna use those. We'll see how it goes. Mm, yep, they're all the same. 9 millimeter. So we'll try these and go from there. Okay, so here's the first one. I'm just going to put it in here and then you take the other end. These are called double head rivets. But to Miss Linda Gray's point, you can sew mine and made it out of cotton. Okay, okay. To match your room. That sounds pretty. Uh-oh. My hands are slippery for some reason. Are these little copper things? Because these are copper. I really like the look of this copper. All right, so I just snapped it in there. So it'll snap in there. And then when I get ready to set them, because rivets you have to set, I will use the cam press to set them. And all that means is it's going to smash them together and they ain't moving. It is going nowhere. Now, technically, I probably could have folded this over twice if I wanted, but I like seeing the little dog ears. And this is one of those things that if I wanted to, I could take my time and edge paint it and put it a different color, add like some paint on the edges. You can do all that stuff too. Make sure I'm here. Funny, my nails is matching this. Okay. All right, last one, and then we will set them, and this will be done. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, thumbs up, subscribe, please. If you're watching in the bushes, thank you for joining, but make sure you hit the like button. All right, so now all I'm going to do is put it under here. I'm going to move my hand. So what you can't see is there's a base and a top, and all I'm going to do is press it down. I'm going to stand up 'cause and it's done. It's in there, smushed it down. And you see how this one is right here? It has a little opening, but that one, no more opening. So I'm going to do it for the other three. And it literally has a base and it is done. And now I got me a new container. I actually might use this to put like some of my projects in because this will be good to you can make it hold things. All right. That is all four corners. It is done. Quick little box. Oh, Christian said, I just noticed my notifications have been changed. Y'all back to all notifications. Oh, yay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I think something's going on with YouTube where things are changing. People are being unsubscribed. It's been weird. It's been really weird. So yeah, you may want to recheck and check some of the people. Like if you're not getting people that you used to follow, things like that, you might want to check that out and see. But here it is. Cute little notions carrier. It's a notions box. Gotta be my notions box. That's what it's gonna be. Yes. So my notions box right here. Really cute. Now, the only thing I think I might do to this is I have like some pieces of acrylic. I could actually put a piece of acrylic in here to make it like more stable so that it doesn't like be flimsy. I can just make it stiff. Or I have some stiffener, that same stiffener I used on that bag by mistake. I can put some of that in there. Oh yeah, so I'm thinking about using this to put like pieces of thread or I mean you can use anything. You can use it for anything, right? So and you can definitely make a smaller one. So this is huge. And for me, if I'm doing a project or something right now, like I have a handbag cut out that I'm gonna sew tonight. So this handbag is all in here. Like I have all the pieces in here. Um, and so this could be something that I could put my handbag uh pieces in. So like, I got the leather and everything cut and all of that. So this is a handbag and a wallet that I'll sew tonight. So, but yeah, I think something like this you can definitely use, and you can make it smaller. Just something really cute. Hold all your things. Now, see, I could put my little. This is my tray of clips. So this is a clip tray. I have all different types of clips, which is another notion. See these clips? Oh, Kim, LDH is my favorite. I love them. I have all their things. This is LDH right here. I have their 60-inch rotary right here. I love LDH. I have their snips. I got lots of LDH around here. I love LDH. Yes. So yes. To answer your question, Kim, yes. I love LDH. I have all their stuff. Yes, ma'am, Miss Sherry. It is a catch-all tray. It's a really good catch-all tray. Krista says she made a small basket that holds my notions and I put in my sewing caddy. Absolutely. Like, y'all, look. I mean, like my little sewing thing, I had to buy more of these because of all the stuff that's in it. So like there's so many things. And you see like pens and pencils and like all the scissors, all the scissors. I even have applique scissors up here too. But I have applique scissors downstairs with the embroidery machines, but I have an embroidery machine up here as well. So, yep. Again, this type of caddy is yet another notion, right? So now, oh my gosh, let me show you one notion. This one. This is for quilters. This is a press pin. So it has a tip. I have it full of my starch in here. And literally, someone asked about pressing the seams open. So if you were pressing the seams open, you could literally take this and press it, and you can wet it as you go. So you could just, if you don't want to spray the entire garment, right, you can just focus on the seam. So that's what this is for. You can focus on the seam. There's also this, and all of these help to focus on opening up your seams. So this one you can open and press your seam. So if you were just trying to press it open, what she say? I can see Miss Linda rolling her eyes with all these things you have. She got them too, girl. Let me tell you, she got them too. She got them too. And then she got these. So let me tell you what, these things like this, she got them, but she got them in a bag somewhere. I'm just gonna say that. So here, this right here is another pressing tool. And so you can press your seams open. This is used to press your seams open. This, we use this to do a lot of stuff. But this tip here is a pressing tool to press your seams. Again, lots of things for pressing. So with pressing, we're gonna call it a night after that. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? And Miss Roslyn, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We might be closed over here because we at Applique Getaway. Oh. All right. So anything else? Any other questions? I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, even though Miss Linda stood us up today. We're gonna y'all again in the comments. I expect to see replies to the comment. Hey, Miss Linda, what happened to you, girl? I expect to see that in the comments. Mm-hmm. So she can come reply. Now, tell me really quickly what so far embroidery, whatever you do, what is your favorite notion? If you're watching this on the replay, put in the comments what's your favorite notion. So, you know, um, one of the things that I was thinking of, when I just read Kim's message about LDH and how the tariffs are going to affect them. So, one thing that happens with them, they actually travel to the shows. So, LDH is out of Canada, but they come to the shows. So, I'm expecting them to still be at the quilt market because I'm planning to go to quilt market and I'm hoping that they go to the show. I need to check to see if they may be at H&H next week, and I don't think I'm gonna make it to H&H next week. I didn't plan to go because I thought I had to do something else. But normally they do come to the quilt events, in the US. So that's how I got a lot of my stuff when I got them at Quilt Market, but I had met them before. And so I'm hoping that they are able to make it to Quilt Market this year because they normally do. They're there, Kai's there, all the people are there. Miss Little says like choosing her favorite child. Okay, well you can pick the top two. So give me your top two notions. And then the next time you are sewing or quilting or doing anything, check and see how many pairs of scissors you have around you when you finish. And then I'm gonna post that in our Facebook group so I can see how many pairs of scissors that you normally have around you once you finish. My norm is about four different pair, like four, like really four different pair of scissors. So yes. Well, you know what? I will tell Miss Linda you all said hello. I live in Dallas. I'm outside of Dallas. Um Lady Bear. Um but yes. Okay, Miss Patricia says scissors. Lady Bear says same. Oh, you're welcome, Miss Merlinda. All of them. I need them all. Shay Shay, I feel like that too. I feel like that too. Yeah, I think Miss Rosalind and Lady Bear, as you continue to learn all the things, like the one thing I say is give yourself some grace because it is a learning process. I've been quilting now. Like I always said, I was beginning when I was what, I don't know, a year in. But then after that, and the I kept going to the quilt guilds and stuff like that. And then I started doing the show and tells. I was like, okay, I might have had this thing. But I wanted to make sure that I learned the techniques because there are a lot of different techniques. There are a lot of different things. So um what we can do is I would like to do something where we work on a project and every Sunday we work on that project together, kind of like maybe making our own little quilt. But we can do, I think one of my favorite things to do is a table runner and a nine boxer for people who are starting because you got to get used to getting those seams. It is more about the seams. Oh, Miss Kristen, let me tell you, honey, I hate pins. Like I done stuck myself so much, I'm over it. Me and my little clips, and you can buy, they come in a cute little tin. I just have taken mine out because I use so many, like with my handbags and all the other things. Yeah, no pins, honey. This is a no pin zone. I got pins here, but it's a no pin zone. I'm a clip girl. And so when you start looking at the bigger clips, like when you start getting like minkies and stuff like that, you need these bigger ones because you got to grab the minky and all three pieces of the fabric so that all three pieces of the quilt sandwich. So that way you can have it. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, you want to do a table runner? Yes, I absolutely love it. And the quilts. Hubby is the quilter. He stopped due to vision loss. would like to see him start again. That would be so nice. Now, I wonder if where you are, Miss Evelyn, if they have some if they have some of those places, because some places have like I know like in North Carolina there's like huge places for the blind where they actually do a lot of that. They actually train them how to continue the crafts that they were doing or even train them to do the things that they were used to doing before. Um, this has been a thank you, Lady Bear. I appreciate that. Love your lives. They provide so much useful information. Thank you. I don't know that which notions they're all too new and I don't know what I'm supposed to use them all for. That's okay, Lady Bear. We will be talking about them. And if they have a specific name, just drop the name of them and I'll be happy to tell you what you use them for. Miss Patricia says she normally has 4. Miss Merlinda has 5. Yep. Kristen says she has about 3. Yep. Right now, I'm loving the clips instead of dealing with pins, at least for sewing. But I just started sewing in January. Christian, don't stop. Keep going. You got it. You got it. You can do it. Miss Renee says she loves her clips too. So much better than pins. Miss Linda Gray. Miss Linda Gray, you know you've been sewing a long time, honey. Miss Linda Gray was, wait a minute, hold up, back up. Miss Linda Gray, by the way, you need to post a picture of that jacket you made. Y'all, Miss Linda adorned this jacket for prom for this young man. When I tell y'all that jacket was sharp. Oh my God. Post it in the Facebook group, Miss Linda. Let the people see your work. That was oh my God. His jacket was amazing with all that lace she put on there. Amazing for prom. That kid was sharp. Let me just tell y'all. Lady Bear says, "Oh yeah, count me in. I've been telling Shay Shay she want to do one. I love clips. Me too. I do too. I do too." All right, guys. I appreciate you all for hanging in there with me. If you haven't already, please, please, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. I will be sure to tell Miss Linda that you all missed her and give her a little grief. And Miss Ann, I'm definitely gonna tell her you said she would be rolling her eyes at me. She would be honey hush. You know how she is, right? She'd have been like, honey hush, girl, bye. That's what she would have been doing. So, and she has it all in hers too. Okay, that is great, Miss Evelyn. So, I'll say a prayer. Hopefully he will find some. Ooh, Miss Lauren just said you can use Sew Tight's original magnetic sewing pins. Thank you so much. Let me tell y'all. Sew Tights. Oh my God. I love Sew Tights. Sew Tights, if you haven't bought any, are magnets. They are the best. They are the best. These are So Tights. So Tights has a new ruler, guys. Oh my God, I saw it today. So Tights has a new ruler. Um, it has magnets in it and all of that, but they have another one. What is that? Okay. So Tights are magnets. So say for instance, um, for example, I'm getting ready to sew a bag, but if you were getting ready to make something, you can use these to hold things down. Oh, I got stuff in between them. But you can use these to hold things down, Lady Bear. Um, they're just really, really strong magnets. And so when I'm quilting, I may put this on the back to hold my sandwich. So if I'm trying not to put a bunch of pins and stuff, and my quilt sandwich. So the quilt sandwich consists of the top of the quilt, the batting, and the backing. So when I'm putting all 3 of those together, and if I'm going to use my domestic machine, when I was using my domestic machine to quilt, I would take the sew tights and put them up there instead of pins. One part on the back, one part on the top, swoop, and it holds it. And so basically it would hold it together and I would just put a whole because I got a big box of these. And so you see how long they are, you can just put them across the top. And if you're making like a baby quilt or something like that, it would hold it all together. So that way you wouldn't have to be sticking yourself with all them pins. So I would this was my solution to no pins. I got some generic magnets on Amazon. They are purple. Okay. Okay. Now, here's my disclaimer. If you have a pacemaker, don't use these. You know, you're not supposed to be around magnets, so don't use these. Um, or if you have an apparatus in your body that tells you you should not be around magnets, don't do these because these are strong. You can't no magnets. You know what? That's my disclaimer. Don't do it. Do what your doctor says, not me. Um, so what else? What else? We could be here all day with all the notions I got over here. We can't do it. We can't do it. Y'all know what? Look, let me tell y'all. Here are the scissors I got right here in front of me. And make sure there are no more. One right here. So I got three right now. And y'all hadn't seen these. These so cute. I know Shay Shay gonna like these, but you can't have them, Shay Shay. These mine. Little bitty. But there we go. They haven't been to my shows in a few years. Oh man. Okay. Well, hopefully they'll come. Hopefully they'll come. Let's see. One day I think I had all the scissors out, Miss Renee said. Miss Vera said, I was wondering if I should have a 24-inch ruler, and today I got my answer. When you get big on YouTube, don't forget us. We're here from the start. I am not Miss Ann ever, ever, ever. I always hated ironing, but with this sewing stuff, I'm starting to really love the outcomes afterwards. So that's a part of the iron and sew, and it's really press, sew, press because you're going to press it before you start. Let me tell y'all something. Press your fabric before you cut it. Press it, please. Okay, if you don't learn anything else to me today, press your fabric before you start cutting it. Here's why. You want to make sure you're making accurate cut. If your material is wrinkled and you cut it, a 10 by 10 might actually be a 10 and a half by 10 and a half versus 10 by 10. So make sure that you iron it before you cut it. Okay? That's my last tip of the night. Iron it before you cut it. All right, let me see what else I missed. Okay, Lady Bear said we're jealous she was taking a nap. What is that? I never heard of those. Okay, sew tights. Yep, sew tights are magnets. Okay, notions part two. Yes, Miss Evelyn. Yes. Okay, I have two green pairs of those scissors. One in the oh no. Yeah, I love these little scissors. They're so fun. Pressing makes a big difference before you cut. Yes, ma'am, Miss Evelyn. Miss Kim. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I certainly appreciate it. I have enjoyed it. And, I'm gonna give Miss Linda a little grief, but I know she might have been tired. So, yes, yes, yes. But anyway, you all were amazing. I appreciate you all for being here and hanging out with me on a Sunday. And so I really, really enjoyed it. And again, this is what we made. Look, we still made something after I talked for 2 hours, but still we got something, you know what I'm saying? We got a little project, just a little project. I'm gonna get up in here and sew this bag while I watch Miss Eve, see what she gonna make tonight. Miss Lauren said she's a notions person as well. I know. I look for you gotta have stuff that's easy to make life easy. If you haven't already, please consider joining our Facebook group. I'm gonna drop the link here. I will be putting those 1/4 inch foot findings that you guys had sent me your machines. I will put that in the Facebook group. But if there's any questions, if you have any questions or you think of anything, just let me know. I'm happy to help, happy to provide whatever information that I can. Um, and I think that's all for tonight. If you haven't already seen it, Miss Vera was talking about her sewing room sign. Like I sell those there on my website, Go Savvy Designs. If you need a sewing room sign for now, I'm thinking about making different signs because I know there's more than just sewing. You know, there may be some crocheters, knitters, whatever. So we're gonna see about that. But anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week. I've been trying to figure out if I was going to Chicago or not. I don't think so, but oh, I really want to go. But the biggest day would be Tuesday that I really wanted to be there. So I don't know. I was scheduled to be off. I should have just taken it, but we'll see. Anyway, I enjoyed you all tonight. Please have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you all because don't forget my premiere, the premiere. If you haven't signed up for it, go out there because it's gonna be Quilting 101 talking about great stuff. So stay tuned, and I will be back on Sunday Funday. I know it's Mother's Day. A lot of you may be doing stuff as a mom, but you can always watch the replay. But we will be here next Sunday. So have a great rest of the week, and I will see you all later. Bye.
Sunday fun day, oh so bright, stitching dreams in morning light, sewing fabric all day long. Thank you, watch us sing along. Great times here under the sun, threads and needles having fun. Live or replay doesn't fade. Appreciate this bond we've made. Thank you all for tuning in. On this Sunday, let's begin. Laughs and stitches hand in hand. Join us, part of this grand band. Patchwork quilts and memories, crafting moments with such ease. Week ahead, let's keep the glow. All together, let love show. From every corner, near and far, join our circle, be a star. Grateful hearts and threaded ties, in our hands the future lies. Thank you all for tuning in. On this Sunday, let's begin. Laughs and stitches hand in hand. Join us, part of this grand band. Patchwork quilts and memories, crafting moments with such ease. Week ahead, let's keep the glow. All together, let love show. From every corner, near and far, join our circle, be a star. Grateful hearts and threaded ties, in our hands the future lies. Thank you all for tuning in. On this Sunday, let's begin. Laughs and stitches hand in hand.